Hi everyone, Stepan here. I'll play another training game or two like yesterday if the first one goes well. I still have 81 points before I reach my goal of 2100 and I have 4 days to go, counting today, so not a lot of time left. I'm going to try to create a game as somebody suggested with 2000 being the low, the limit for the lowest rating of my opponents, and 2900 being the highest one. So let's see. Okay, we got a game immediately. Oh, provisional rating, I don't like that. We will see. So this guy, very British, could be much stronger than 2046, but we will see. Okay, I'm going to play an Italian unless he plays the Petrov or something strange with f5. Okay, we have an Italian game. Now let's see. Do I want to play positionally? Do I want to play... Okay, this I don't know. I don't know this move. Okay. Two obvious candidates are bishop takes f7 and knight takes e5. And let's see about both. Bishop takes f7, king takes f7, knight takes e5 check, king e6. I don't think I have anything there. Knight takes e5, he can take my bishop, I can take his knight, then queen e7, I can play d3. If I take on e5 and he plays knight f6, I can then take on f7. If I take on e5 and he plays queen e7, I can take on f7. And then king d8, d4. If he plays d6, I can take on f7. Knight takes e5. What options does he have? f6 is not good, d6 is not good, queen e7 is not good, bishop e7 is not good, knight h6 might be a sensible move, but then I'm just going to knight h7, I'm going to play d4, threatening the knight. Am I missing something? What am I missing? Knight takes e5. Can he play d5? I can just take that. Knight takes e5. Okay. Knight c4, knight c4, queen e7, d3. Queen e7, bishop f7, king d8, d4, d6, knight f3, queen takes e4 check, queen e2. So I guess queen e7 is his move. Knight takes e5, queen e7, bishop f7 check, king d8. d4, d6 or f6. Then I don't... Yeah, then I should be losing a piece. No, f6 is impossible because the bishop took on f7. He says it's your play. I know. I'm calculating. Knight takes e5, queen e7, bishop f7 check, king d8, d4, d6, d4, d6. My knight is attacked. My bishop is on f7 and is attacked. Knight e5, queen e7. Bishop f7 check. King d8. I could take on g8 and just play d3. So I'm going to do it because I don't think he has enough for this. If I've missed something, then I've missed something. I don't know. I just don't know this move. He could also play queen g5, in which case I'm still going to take on f7 and play I don't know. Queen g5 seems like a good move as well. Okay, he takes on c4. Knight takes c4. I mean, that's just a pawn for the bishop pair. And I'm defending g2 with knight e3. So I don't know about his gambit idea. Let's just castle. Should I castle? Maybe knight c3 first. Maybe I want to castle queenside. Okay, knight c3 is a good move. If he plays bishop c5, I'm going to castle, so that my g2 pawn is not hanging. I don't know, please let me know if you ever seen this idea of his. I want to play d4. Seems like the most aggressive way to develop. I could also go for d3. I'm not sure which side he wants to castle. Maybe queen e2, because if queen e2, bishop e7, then I have knight f5. If queen e2, bishop e6, queen e2, bishop e6, I have d4, threatening d5. He's then going to castle queenside, but I can still play d5, knight takes d5, knight takes d5. Rook takes d5 and I win an exchange. So I like queen e2. It seems to be exploiting his strange play. Queen e2, bishop e6, d4, castles, d5. Oh, he still has the bishop on e6. Okay, so queen e2, bishop e6 seems to solve all of his problems. So perhaps queen e2 is not precise. Oh, but queen e2, bishop e6, I have queen b5, exchanging the queens. Okay, so I'm going to do that. If he plays bishop e6, I'm going to play queen b5 and just be a pawn up. It is for the bishop pair, but whoa. Is that not scary? Don't I just win the bishop now? I think I just win the bishop with knight e to d5. Knight e to d5 check. If bishop e7, it's checkmate. If bishop e6, I win the bishop on b4. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I mean, this should just be game over. He doesn't have time for rook e1 because I take his queen. He can play queen takes g2, but then I can check on d3. That is scary. Knight takes b4, queen takes g2. Knight b4, queen g2. I have queen f1. Oh, I have queen f1. Knight takes b4, queen takes g2, queen f1. And if rook e1, rook e8 check, I have knight to e2, and I'm defending everything. So I'm going to do that. I don't see a way for him to defend against that idea. Yeah, just queen f1. If rook e8 check, just knight e2. And I'm a piece up. Oh, but rook e8 check, knight e2, bishop g4. Then he has to move the queen. Okay. So should I just play king d1? If king d1, he has bishop g4. So knight e2, bishop g4 is not possible because I take the queen. Knight e2, queen moves, he's threatening bishop g4, but I have time for okay, knight e2. Now if bishop g4 I take his queen. If he moves his queen... What? What? Oh, he's going to get two knights. Okay, that's fine. Queen e4 check wins my knight. But it's okay. Oh, he also has bishop b4 now. Oof. Well. Yeah. Yeah, this is game over. Well, where did I go wrong? I don't think knight e5 was a mistake. Maybe knight takes b4 was a mistake. Maybe knight e2 was a mistake. Yeah. Just resign and let's see. Let's see what went wrong. Okay, bishop c4. Knight takes e5 is correct. Knight takes c4 is correct. E takes d5 is correct. Knight d3 is correct. Yeah, I should have castled perhaps. What? So it was incorrect to win a piece. Oh no, now knight ed5 is the best move. Okay. King d8. Yeah, now I shouldn't take a piece. Knight takes is better for black. Okay, yeah, knight b4 was a mistake. Queen f1 is horrible. Yeah, okay. So queen d3, bishop here, rook moves. Knight e2. Yeah, okay, knight b4 was too much. Okay. How many points did I lose? I don't even know. 8 points. Okay, never mind. Let's play another game, and I'll try to not blunder like that. Okay, the same guy. I have the same guy. Okay, let's just go with the Caro-Kann and. Okay, it's good to have a rematch. Let's see if he plays something crazy here. He's probably going to play queen f3. Knowing him, he's going to play queen f3. Oh no, okay. Plays a normal move. What? What? Am I crazy today? What the hell is going on? What's going on? I'm going to take it. I don't know if is this guy a super genius who wants to give me odds and just gives up a piece. I don't understand this. I really don't understand this. I think he's just having a laugh, and I'm going to play another game after this one, regardless of how this one finishes. I have a feeling that it's not going to be easy, judging by the last game. I don't know, these aren't normal games. Why did I take on b4? Oh. Who gives up a piece and then trades everything off? How does that make sense? I don't know. I just want to finish this one and play another game. Yeah. I'm not really trying to play precisely now. I'm a piece up. I want to trade stuff off and just have a normal game. trying to control c5 and e5. Should I castle or not? I should castle. I don't think he has a really scary attack there. I'm going to double up my rooks on the c file and just try to win. He doesn't have enough pieces to do anything here, so I like e5 here, trying to restrain his center, but then he has c5, but that's not a problem, because if e5 c5 I can just take on d4. If e5 e5 seems like a good move. I'm going to start thinking now. I don't want to mess up another game against this guy. e5. e5, if he takes, I take with the knight. e5, if he plays c5, I take on d4. e5, if he plays d5, well, then I've achieved what I wanted. I can then go a6, b5. Maybe I should go a6 first. a6, c5, b6. So I'm just going to go a6 to prepare my pawn pushes. Okay, now c5 is a move. So I should probably transfer my bishop to this diagonal, to f6. To provoke his knight to move. b5, ab5, ab5, cb5, b5, c5, then I have the d5 square for my knight. So yeah, I'm just going to continue aggressively. If he takes twice, I can win the pawn with rook b8 or rook b7. If he plays c5, I got the d5 square for my knight. Okay, good. This is nice. Okay. Declining a trade, I want to keep the pressure up. Okay. If he doubles his rooks, I can take another pawn. If he plays rook c7, I can take and play rook b7. Bishop a3 seems like a nice move here. That undouble attacks my pieces. So bishop a3, he can go king a2. And then I take, then he's threatening checkmate, so I have to do something about that. I still like bishop a3. I think king a2 is the only move, and then when he plays rook g takes c1, then I'm going to play g6. Yeah, just this exchange should be fine. Just g6, securing my back rank. If he plays rook c7, I still play rook b7, and I'm still a piece up. No worries there. Just king g7 first. Calm moves, and then knight b6, knight a4 check. Okay. What's the best plan here? I think just knight d5 is very sensible. If he plays h5, I play knight f4. Okay, rook b7, safeguarding the position. h5, safeguarding the position. I don't want to play anything rash, I just want an easy conversion so that I can play a normal game. Now how do I put pressure on the pawn? I want extra pressure on the pawn. Knight f4, the rook moves. Knight f4 doesn't put pressure on the pawn. If I play rook b4, then I'm putting pressure on the d4 pawn, but that's not really a threat. Where can I read out my knight so that I can attack the b3 pawn? I need to get my knight into a5. I can get my knight into a5 from c6, so knight e7 makes a lot of sense, knight c6 to knight a5. That's going to be my plan. And also, if he changes stuff, I can go to f5 and put pressure on both of these pawns. Okay, doesn't do anything to stop me, so let's just do it. My next move is going to be knight a5. He could then play rook c3, but then he is in Zugzwang, so I like that. I'm going to provoke all of his pieces into the defense of one pawn. Yeah. And now just move my king up the board. I mean, everything is locked down for him. He doesn't have a good option here. He cannot move anything. Yeah, he can move his king, but that's not really. Where do I want my king? Here? Probably there. I could even just win everything by exchanging on b3. So I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to take everything and take on b3 3 times and win. I'm sorry, I should turn off my phone. Okay, that doesn't worry me that much. So just take. Okay, knight takes b3, rook takes b3, rook takes b3, rook takes b3, king takes b3, king f4, king c4, king takes f3, d5, I don't know, e takes d5, king takes e5, king takes f2. Yeah, that's just winning. I should just exchange everything off. This is a winning ending. And now I'm also threatening checkmate, so he has to take. Yeah, he should resign. There's no way to defend this. I think the quickest way is just to queen my h-pawn. Defending e6, and now my h-pawn is going to queen. He's really playing on? Okay. Now we get two queens. Yeah, okay. I hope I get somebody normal after this game. I don't really know what this guy was trying to do. Still plays on. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I'm going to play 3 games today. I hope that with this win I get my 8 points back, but we will see. If he plays f4, I'm just going to move my king to make sure there are no stalemate tricks. Well, yeah, he doesn't do that. What's the quickest mate? Here? Probably. Yeah, this, I don't know. I hope I get a normal game. Sorry about this, guys. some, I guess, well, games online are not that serious all the time, so some people don't take them seriously. But yeah, I do take them seriously, and I hope that I get an opponent who thinks the same next game. And I also hope this guy doesn't let his time run out now. That would be really bad. Yeah, one question, if you know it, perhaps. Can you play multiple games on Lichess? Like have another game open in a separate window? Oh, come on. This is really not gentlemanly, not very British, I have to say. Okay, he played, I'm sorry. Okay, let's go. Oh, plus 12 points. Okay, I earned some points. He wants a rematch. I don't want a rematch. He's a really weird guy. And we also played 2 games. So, okay, create a game. Rated. Okay. Let's hope for somebody else now. Just anybody but this guy. So in the first game he gave up a pawn, in the second game he gave up a piece. What do you do when you face guys like that? I don't know, I've never faced anybody who was just giving up pieces for nothing. Yes, I'm not playing the same guy. Okay. Caro-Kann, serious. Okay. We finally have a normal game, it seems. Exchange variation, good. I'm happy to hear that, to see that. I think I might play my new idea with Queen C7 early on. This is not a good move. This is the incorrect move order. He should have played Bishop D3 first. Because now I have the spin. Usually it's really hard for after C3 for black to develop his bishop, because when the knight is still on G1, black plays knight F6 and bishop G4, the queen goes to B3, and then you have to play queen C8 or queen C7. Now that the knight is already on F3, bishop G4 is much stronger, because if queen B3 I just take the knight. So already black is very close to equal in this position. I'm not saying that I'm going to use that well, but black is close to equal. Yeah, and now my plan is going to be a6, b5, bishop d6 first to challenge the bishop. If knight e5 now, then bishop takes e2, queen takes e2, castles. And my plan is a minority attack. This is what you get as white in the Queen's Gambit declined after takes on d5 and e takes d5, where black is the one with the pawn structure dcba, like that. And in the exchange Caro-Kann, white has problems with the minority attack. So my plan is here to go rook b8, a6, b5, b4, weaken his pawn structure, play knight a5, knight c4, and stop him from ever getting rid of his weak pawn on c3. If he does nothing after b5, I just take on c3, b takes c3, and the goal is to isolate, well, to make the c3 pawn a backwards pawn. Or if he takes, then knight takes, and he has an isolated pawn on d4 without too much activity. So he does play knight e5, bishop e2, queen e2, castles. This is all very normal stuff. Knight d7 would be a mistake here for black, because he has knight takes f7, winning a pawn. So what do I do? Rook c8 is a normal move, rook b8 is a normal move, a6 is a normal move. I think I want to play rook c8 here, or a6 first. I'm not sure. Okay, a6 is more flexible. I'm going to play that. And then leave the option of playing either rook b8 or rook c8. Now, knight f3 is a common maneuver, but it's actually a slight mistake because now I have knight e4. And now I should play rook c8 to make sure that if knight c6, I can take with the rook. So rook c8, knight takes, rook takes, knight e5, and then I can play rook back to c8. Well, wait. Rook c8, knight c6, rook c6, knight e5, rook c8. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. One of my main breaks is e5, which is hard to achieve when he is controlling it that much. I have played knight e8, f6, e5 before, but I think here I'm just going to continue with rook c8. Now obviously if he takes, I cannot take with the b pawn because rook takes a6. Yeah, the Exchange Caro-Kann is very boring, unfortunately, but it's a positional game, and often one weak pawn, usually for white, decides the game. And I mean, black has normal moves, rook c8, rook e8. I can even go knight a5, knight c4. Normal stuff. As I said, the only thing I cannot play is knight d7, which would just be a mistake. He could also go bishop g5 here, where I'm going to play h6, and okay, he takes, so now rook takes. His other knight comes into e5, I play rook c8. Whoa. Why would he take my bishop? I don't understand that. Because now I can take with the rook. I can take with the rook, and when knight e5 happens, I can play knight d7. If I take with the queen, then my rook is on c8, which is better. My rook is kind of weird on d6. I don't want my rook on d6, to be honest. So I'm just going to take with the queen, and when he plays knight e5, I'm going to play rook c8, or I might even... Okay, rook c8. Now my plan is knight d7, and once I manage to get rid of this knight, then my pawn structure is much better than his. Well, this is a major weakness. You cannot do that. f4 is a very weak move. My knight is much better than his because I have f6. Okay, I mean, f6 now? f6, knight f3, e5, d5, fe5. Is f6 too much here? This is a key position in the game for the moment. f6, knight g4 is another option. Doesn't make a big difference. Well, I think that's okay. f6, knight f3, e5, d5, fe5. His f pawn is hanging. He has to move the knight again. And my knight is going to be on e5, on e4 forever. They also open up the possibility for queen c5 check and queen b6 check when he takes d5. So yeah, I'm going to do that because I don't see a problem with that. I may also consider just taking on f5 and keeping my knight perfect on e4. So if he plays knight f3, I may just take on f5. If he plays knight g4, I'm probably going to play e5. Yeah, and I think I want to keep my f6 pawn. I think just rook c to e8 makes a lot of sense to take the e-file and then play the move e5 if I want to play it. That seems much better. I don't think he's threatening anything. I don't want this pawn to be gone because then rook d1 would threaten queen takes e4. So now I am threatening to take on f5, and when the rook takes, I can play knight g3. Okay, he takes, now rook takes, and I'm threatening knight g3. Among other things, I'm also threatening knight c3, and yeah, that's it. Knight g3 is the best move here. If he doesn't do anything, he's probably going to move the queen, then I'm going to double my rooks, and the only thing I must make sure I don't do is to give the square back to his knight. He found a good plan. He's coming into the f5 square. That's a very good square. Okay, so what do I do about that? I don't want to play g6. That's too weakening. I can win a pawn with knight g5. Knight g5, he can play h4, but then I have knight f7. So I like knight g5, pinning his knight to the queen, but then he can just move the queen immediately. So I'm not a big fan of that. Rook f to e8, knight f5, queen b6. Oh, but then if he manages to play knight f5, he's threatening to take here. So I should probably play queen d7. So queen d7, knight f5, knight g3. So if I play queen d7, he cannot play knight f5, but he can play queen g4 first. Queen d7, queen g4, queen d7, queen g4. I really don't want to play g6. Rook e8, knight f5, queen d7, queen g4. Maybe I should play queen c7 if knight f5. Rook e8, knight f5, queen c7, queen g4. Maybe g6 is not too weak. He would have to play something like h4, h5 to prove that he's better. Rook e8, knight f5. Do I have knight g3 there? Rook e8, knight f5, knight g3, knight takes d6, knight takes queen check, king moves, rook takes d6, king takes knight is illegal. So rook e8, knight f5, I have knight g3. If he plays queen g4, rook e8, knight f5, knight g3, queen g4, I can just take the f5 knight and we should be equal. But I don't really want to trade the knights off, although I can then infiltrate the back rank. Rook e8, knight f5, knight g3, queen g4, knight takes f5. Okay, I like that. I'm going to do that. I like this plan. Knight f5, knight g3 should be fine. And now if he doesn't move the knight, I just take on c3. If he moves the queen, I just take on c3. If he does nothing, I just take on c3. Or I play knight g3. So if rook e8 works, then it's a really strong move. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What can you do? Queen g4 first. Okay. Now he's threatening knight f5. But I now have knight g3. Still just reversing the move order. Knight g3 is one move. I can go for the other move is queen c7 or queen d7, which I'm not a big fan of. I can also go g6, but he still has knight f5 and I have to move my queen. I could go h5, h5, queen h5, and I can then play knight to d2, but then he still has knight f5. Okay, so an exchange should be fine for me because I own the e file, and that should be okay. So knight g3, and what does he do? Knight g3 takes, I take on e3. Knight g3 moves the rook, I take on e3. Knight g3, knight f5, I take the knight. And he takes with the rook, I take the file, so that should be okay. Taking here, oh, queen g7, king g7, knight f5 doesn't work, yeah, because I still have my knight. Taking on d5 also doesn't work. Rook takes f6 also doesn't work. I should have a slight advantage because of the d file. I don't think I wanted to trade the knights because my knight was much better, but somehow I misplayed that, and I'm lower on time. If he plays rook f3, that would be funny. I can just play knight e2 check, and then I win a whole piece at the end of the rainbow. He should just play knight f5. There are no better moves, I think. And allow me to take the file. Yeah, but I'm happy to be playing a normal game, have to say. I'm not sure who is better here anymore. Maybe black is slightly better because of the rooks. But I have a feeling I had a bigger advantage. I don't know where I messed up though. I'm going to have to analyze the game. And when it comes to defending the d pawn later on, he took with the pawn. Okay, that's funny. I guess I have to take. There's no rook f6 because my queen is defending. Okay. But don't I now just play rook check, rook takes king f2 and queen e7? I don't see a problem with that. So you obviously don't want to trade off the rooks now. So rook e1 check, rook takes, rook e1 check, king f2, queen e7. He has a check on c8, but everything is defended. And I'm threatening mate, which is not easy to defend. So I'm going to do that. And if he moves his king back, then I am just going to make some luft and play a normal game from there. Oh, I don't think he should have done that. Just queen e7 should end the game. Queen c8 check is one check. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't see a defense to this. Rook takes f6 doesn't work. I just play queen e3 checkmate. Otherwise, if rook takes f6, queen takes f6, he can take on e1. Okay, so he found a defense, but his king isn't going anywhere, his queen isn't going anywhere. I can play rook b1 and threaten his pawn. Rook b1 is a very good move. I threaten b2 and I also threaten queen e1 checkmate. So rook b1, king f3. That should be very risky. I like rook b1. Any other candidates? f5, I don't think it works. f5, queen h5, g6, queen f3 at the end, and he's defending. Although, if I provoke queen f3, rook b1 is much stronger. Yeah, but no. Then he has g4. So just rook b1 right away. He doesn't have time for rook d2, because queen e1 checkmate. He doesn't have time for king f3 because I take the pawn and then threaten queen here checkmate. He doesn't have time for rook e3 because I take the pawn with check, and then he has to play king f3, and then I play something like queen f1, queen f8. Although I think rook e3 is probably the best move. Well, now I see a problem with this. Rook e3, rook takes b2, king f3. If I play queen f8, he can play queen e6 check and take my pawn. Yeah, rook e3 is a good move. I missed that. Rook e3 is a good move. I have to be careful. I still have 5 minutes, so I have to use it well. Oh, he didn't find rook e3. Whoa. Thank you, man. Okay. Do I want to trade rooks? Is this enough to win? Pause the video here if you want. Trade the rooks or not. So, takes king d2, king f7, king d3, king e6, c4, pawn takes, king d6. Yeah, this is enough to win. It's enough to win. I can't allow a5, so I should play b6. Okay, b6. A calm, normal move. King e6. Okay. Do not commit your pawns too fast. Do not commit your pawns too fast. h5 seems necessary. h5. Then he has to play with his king, because if he plays g4, I'm going to play g5 check. Okay, h5. Restrain his king as much as possible. g4 is the only move. Okay, good. g5 check. g5 check, followed by maybe h4 first. h4 first. Okay. And now I take with check. Oh, why would I do that? Why would I play that? God, I'm such an idiot. Why would I play h4? Okay, this is still winning. This is still winning. b5, 8 takes b5, 8 takes b5. No, it's not still winning. Jesus, such an idiot. Why did I play h4? I can't find the move here. I want him to take here so that I can play king f5. I also want him to move down and take this pawn so that I can play king f5 and king g4. But I don't have a move. If I play a5, he just plays king g6 and I still cannot play king f5. If I play b5, he takes and I take and it's still my move. No, then it's his move. Yeah, but then he still plays king g6. Jesus. Maybe I have to play king f7 to reserve a tempo. It's a draw now, if I'm not worse. Now it's not a draw anymore. Now it's definitely not a draw. I think I could win this now. I think he made a mistake by closing the position down, because now I just should be winning. Yeah, now black wins. He blundered. Why did he blunder? G4 was a horrible move. G4 was just, he allowed me to win. And it's as bad as my H4 move. If I don't play H4, I'm winning. Now, if he doesn't play G4, it's a draw. It's just a horrible ending. Just a bad ending. Why is everybody playing one? Help me understand that. Okay. Okay, let's analyze the game. I'm sorry that this video is taking so long. Okay. Okay, let's look at the game. This is all fine, black is equal. This I've played a ton of times. Here, as you can see, it's just dead equal. White allowed black to equalize. Now, yeah, f4 was a mistake because of knight e4. And now f6 was correct, knight g5 was correct, rook c to e8 was a mistake. Okay. Now takes, knight e3. g6 best move. Rook f8 second best, okay. Queen g4, knight g3 is third best, g6 is best. Okay, knight g3 is still fine, and he takes, and black is much better here, yeah. Now I really want to see what happens here after rook b1. Is rook e3 really such a good move? Queen c8 equal, rook e3 losing. Okay. And now exchange rooks or not? Yes, exchange, correct decision. Black is winning this ending easily, and I messed up with h4, which is... h4 is not a blunder. g5, yeah, but f5, okay. Yeah, okay, king f2 is a mistake. a5 wins, king d7 wins, king d6 wins. So h4 is not the blunder, king f2 is the blunder. And this is now just a dead draw, it's a dead draw. And after g4, it has to be... This is a draw? How is that a draw? Oh yeah, c4. He shouldn't have played c4. But if he plays something normal, isn't this just winning for me? If we try this... No, yeah, it's a draw. Okay, well... long video, 3 games, 2 wins, 1 loss. The first game why did I take on b4? Okay, let's see how I did. What's the score after today? 16 points up, 65 points to go. That's good. 3 days and 65 points to go. Okay. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Sorry for the long video. I hope you liked the games. Hope you managed to learn something, well, against the Exchange Caro-Kann, because that was the only sensible game. And stay tuned for more chess. 65 points to go. Bye.